everybody, and welcome to the Bob Stoops app, and Happy New Year. I'm Brad McMullen, along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, and now Hall of Fame in the Rose Bowl as well.
Well, thank you. It being an old Big Ten guy growing up in Ohio and playing at Iowa, first bowl game I played in as a player was the Rose Bowl. So anyway, it was really neat. People out there were incredible, just incredibly kind, nice, took care of us for 4 days. And a lot of different events to go to, but they were all great. I got to ride in the Rose Bowl parade. That was different. And so anyway, it was all good. I went to sleep waving and saying Happy New Year to everybody.
You did it so much, right?
For 2 hours along the route, but it was great. Great experience, a lot of fun.
Any tennis elbow from all that waving?
A little bit, but beautiful day. You know, rain during the parade, which I think only the third, fourth time in the history of the Rose Bowl parade. And but then everything cleared up for the game, and I love going in the Rose Bowl.
It's just beautiful.
It's my favorite stadium in the world, and it was really neat to be in there again and to be recognized.
All right, before we talk about the two college football games in the Final Four, we got to talk a little bit about that Rose Bowl. Indiana playing Alabama, and this game wasn't close once they kicked off. It was unbelievable how well Indiana played.
It's amazing, and I kind of felt that going in, that Indiana's for real. Obviously, now everyone kind of sees it. So well coached, talented, all of it. Yeah, that wasn't even a game, and it's fun to see it.
Yeah, and talk about the DBs for that program. I know when you looked at the recruiting calendar, you're like, well, these aren't, high dollar 5-star recruits. They play like they're going to play on Sunday.
No, these guys, and here's what everyone too, with the new world of the portal, they got a lot of players from smaller divisions, from James Madison and whatnot, that are playing at the best level of anybody. So, there's players, and the NFL's littered with players from those smaller division schools as well. So that's just everyone, like with OU's going to get a guy in from a portal from a smaller school, they're capable of playing at this kind of level. But I'm with you. The secondary for Indiana is as good as I've ever seen, and several of those guys, I believe, came from James Madison. Yep. So really a great program right now, and a great team.
And again, they didn't just beat Alabama, they blasted Alabama. They won on the line of scrimmage against Alabama. And now Coach DeBoer's got to regroup a lot of different things, because this is now back-to-back years that they have lost 4 games in a season. Yeah,
it's hard to believe, but I think Kellen DeBoer is a great coach, got a great track record. So we'll see. But, it's hard to step in and replace a guy like Nick Saban.
Yes.
Let's just face it. I remember back when I was with Coach Spurrier at Florida, he was down on the ground stretching. We were working out at noon. He says, Bobby, one day you might have to make the decision. Do you want to be the guy to replace the guy, or you want to replace the next guy? So his point was, you may have a chance at some point to replace me, but do you want to be that guy? And several guys after Coach retired did not do so well. So I was very aware of what he was saying.
Yeah, I tell you, if they would have replaced him with this guy, they would have done really, really fine. All right, let's talk about the big games going on right now. And speaking of Indiana, they've got a huge one against Oregon. They beat Oregon earlier in the year on October 11th by 10, 30-20 at Oregon. Remember, that's the other thing. They went to Autzen Stadium and won that game. Do you see the second game going similar to the first?
I do. I don't know how at this point. I just really believe in Indiana. They're that good a team. They're the best team that we've seen so far. They've already beaten them at their place. I get it. It's hard to beat someone twice. Well, sometimes it's hard to beat a really good team once. And so I'd go with Indiana, and, because of the secondary. I like Oregon. They got great defense, but receivers are really strong, quarterback strong. But Indiana's defense, I saw last week Alabama holding the ball. They couldn't throw it. So I just like Indiana.
Yeah, I agree with you. And let me say this. I think Oregon has proven in the college football playoff that they're one of the 4 best teams in the country.
Sure.
I have been really, really impressed with them. I just think Indiana's better. I think you saw the way that Oregon played against TCU, or not TCU, Texas Tech. Tech is a great football team, and they absolutely dominated them. I just think Indiana's that much better.
Agreed, and thought Oregon showed that over Tech, just athletically a little bit stronger overall, the receiver game and whatnot, and even defensively. And but I don't see Indiana having any weaknesses. They don't beat themselves. They don't put themselves behind the change with penalties. Yeah. They take care of the football. They got a great quarterback. What was he the last game? 13 of 15 and 3 touchdowns. They just really well coached, and they got excellent players.
I think what you said, you hit the nail on the head. Control what you can control. They don't get stupid penalties after the play. I mean, how many times did you see a team this year, including Oklahoma, stop them on third down, get a penalty, give them a fresh, set of downs? You have not seen that from Indiana. And they do not turn the football over.
No, but even put yourself behind the change by having a procedure, illegal formation, or lining up off sides. They just don't do those things, and their attention to detail is as good as I've seen.
And again, I know people hate comparisons, but this Indiana team reminds me a lot of your 2000 Oklahoma team, where a lot of people disrespected them, just didn't think they had the right mix. When they had the right mix, they had the talent, and again, they were healthy and they didn't turn the football over.
Yeah, and the general public wasn't used at that time seeing Oklahoma in that position.
Right.
So they just assumed eventually you're going to fail, and Indiana's probably been viewed the same way, but there's a certain point that they're that good, and they've showed it, they've proved it, and I think they're going to continue to.
And Vegas thinks both of these semifinal games are going to be close. Indiana is favored by just 3.5 points. I like Indiana to win the game, and I like them with the points. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm picking Indiana. I picked them last week to beat Alabama, and they've just looked too strong, too solid, and I think they'll cover that.
And you've got the Ole Miss Rebels. They beat Georgia last week and played really, really well in doing so. They are still going through this, the first 3 games of Pete Golding now. Golding, of course, undefeated as a head football coach for Ole Miss, this defensive-minded guy. I'm not saying they've missed a beat. I think they've actually looked better the last few weeks.
I would agree. You could tell the players, the team, they love Pete Golding. Mm-hmm. So he has the pulse of the team. That's a big deal. The same players that have played all year are out there playing, and they look like they have maybe a chip on their shoulder, something to prove.
Yep.
That wasn't all Lane Kiffin. This is us. And I know when I stepped out and retired at OU, and I did it, I told our team, you're the ones who win and lose. I haven't made a play in a long time. So you guys are all still here. You'll go out and win, do what you always do. And that's what Ole Miss is doing. They're the guys on the field are the ones winning, and they're making the plays to make the difference.
And in a sense, champions find a way to embrace the chaos, and Ole Miss has done that. And Chambliss at quarterback, my goodness, this guy has been electric this season.
I think Mendoza and Chambliss have been the best quarterbacks.
Agreed.
And Trinidad, Chambliss, what he has done, been incredible. They've been fantastic. And you could tell the team, feeds off of them. So anyway, I think they're the 2 best, and I see Ole Miss winning in this game.
And I agree with you. Miami has been awesome. And let me say this for anybody that did not think Miami Hurricanes deserve to be in the college football playoff, shame on you. They are outstanding. And they've proven to me that they're one of the top 4 teams in the country. I think it just goes back to kind of what we talked about with Indiana and Oregon. I just think Ole Miss is better than Miami. Vegas doesn't. Vegas has Ole Miss as a 3.5-point underdog. I think a little bit of this has to do with Lane Kiffin and just the general public thinking they can't be that good without their former head coach. I think they can.
I do too. Again, the quarterback, his ability on schedule, he's great, accurate, gets the ball out. Off schedule, when he got a scramble, he's as good as there is, or the best that I've seen this year. Running around, creating plays. And then, I think they have something to prove. They've played great defense as well. And I just think overall, I like Ole Miss in this, especially if they're getting points.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I go back to that halftime score. Ole Miss is down by almost 10 points against Georgia, the SEC champion, and they came together. They were more physical in that third quarter. They took over the football game on both sides of the ball. And that's the way you have to play to win the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And in the first half, they had 3-4 drops that were first downs that could have put them over the hump, and overcame all of that. And in the second half, against everyone thought maybe the best team playing, in these playoffs was Georgia at the time. And they're behind, and they come back and beat them. So I think Ole Miss got something really going.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Again, these are two great games, back-to-back days, Thursday night and Friday night, to decide who will play for the College Football National Championship. And of course, to get there, as we alluded to, these teams have done very, very well in the portal. Oklahoma right now, depending on what ranking service, is in the top 10 or up to the top 3 in the portal class, doing very well. They've gotten good news from all different sectors on the defensive side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball. You got to be really happy the way Oklahoma's recruiting right now.
Just from what I hear, I can't say that I'm not that guy that's following it all. I trust Coach Venables and our staff. They're great coaches, great evaluators. Jim Nagy is our general manager. All of it together, I'm sure they're doing a great job and finding the pieces that really will improve us or make our team better in the coming year.
Yeah, it's so amazing to see that you got an opportunity to bring in proven talent that you've been able to see and sometimes even compete against. When you look back at being a head coach, you bring in some of those older players. Remember CJ Ayu came in, what a difference maker that was to have an older, wiser, experienced player. And that kind of gives these programs the ability to do just that.
No question. Those guys that have played, 1, 2, 3 years makes a big difference. And I'll be honest, I'm at this, just like we talked about Indiana, getting guys from smaller divisions. Even at smaller divisions, some guys, and they have that experience and they have that kind of talent, they're ready for this step, and they'll improve our football team.
And again, Trinidad Chambliss, right?
Yeah, from Ferris State.
That's right.
Is that right?
You're talking about a guy that came from literally off the radar. He wasn't even the starting quarterback at Ole Miss to start the season. He has already announced that he will come back and play for Ole Miss if granted that extra year of eligibility. But it goes back to this. It's all about finding the right guys to fit your culture.
Absolutely. And I believe they've already granted them today. I believe they granted them that extra year of eligibility. And yeah, if they fit your culture, they're the kind of guys, or they want to embrace your culture, even if they're only there a year or two. They want to come in and fit in to a positive culture that's already been built, or keep building it. So these guys it's fun to see. And it's all this portal stuff has created a ton of what do you want to call it, just parity. I mean, it's everybody now has a chance to really step up.
And again, your infrastructure, your organization matters more now than ever, because you have literally thousands of football players in the portal to choose from. If you choose wisely, you get to the college football playoff. You choose incorrectly, you may be out of a job.
Yeah, and wasting some money. So,
Amen.
So hopefully, I trust again our people here and what they're doing, and I'm excited to see the way they build the team here this year.
Yeah, I think they've got some huge additions at running back, tight end, big linebacker coming in from Michigan as well. The Oklahoma Sooners will be even better in 2026. Remember, for videos anytime, just tap on our video link. For Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen.